shall fight on the beaches and in the streets. We shall never surrender.
The venerable Winston Churchill once voted the greatest Briton of all time. But before we knew him as the Prime Minister that led the country to victory over Nazi Germany, he occupied the post of Home Secretary, as did Britain's current Prime Minister, Theresa May. Home Secretary is one of the great four offices of state, along with the Foreign Secretary, Finance Minister, and of course the Prime Minister. And in the entire history of the post, which has spanned some 2.5 centuries, the occupants have always been white. Until now. Sajid Javid is a British Pakistani, his parents arriving in the United Kingdom in the 1960s. They were just some of the thousands that would do so over the decades to follow. Now Britain is home to nearly 1.2 million people of Pakistani origin. And it's all down to Britain's historic Commonwealth links with Pakistan. Following the Second World War, Britain needed labour, and Pakistanis belonging to the Commonwealth found it relatively easy in the 1950s and 60s to move to the UK, taking jobs in the British steel, textile and engineering industries.
The vast majority of them willing to take on the heavier and dirtier jobs and prepared to work on the overnight shifts.
But Sajid Javid's father tried something else. He became a bus driver and then opened up a little corner shop on one of Britain's most dangerous streets in the city of Bristol. And Sajid was not really expected to do much more. In fact, his career advisor at school told him he'd make a good TV repairman. But he went to university and then straight into banking, eventually going on to become a board member at Deutsche Bank. By 2004, he was flying high, earning in excess of $3 million a year. After making his fortune, he turned his hand to politics, elected as a Conservative MP in 2010. Within just a few short years, he became Britain's first Home Secretary with Muslim heritage. And like all politicians, he's had to get used to a lot of public scrutiny. And some of his harshest critics have been from within the Pakistani community. But despite all of that, the boy who grew up on one of the country's worst streets could soon be taking up residence in one of its most salubrious, as Sajid Javid is now the odds-on favourite to be the next Prime Minister of Britain.